get started today, I want to address the unfortunate news that came earlier this week about the passing of Benny Potter, the comic historian, as he was better known, tragically killed in a car accident. He was taken too soon. He was, I think, in his 40s. He was a veteran, and he was a very influential member of the comic community on YouTube and elsewhere. I didn't watch a lot of his comic rundown videos that he was most famous for, but I did watch every episode of his Comics Experiment podcast with his brother Andy and his editor and his friend. And he introduced me to Comic Pop with Sal, who recently made a really heartbreaking statement on the loss of his best friend. So just wanted to recognize his loss and make note of it because it was a tragic one. Aiden, you had some experience with him as well, yeah?
Yeah, I did watch some of his videos a lot growing up, mostly like back in like 2015, 2016. I've always kind of like, he's one of those YouTubers that stuck around for so long, you kind of check back in once in a while and say, oh, they're doing good, they're still making content. But yeah, I remember him being like a very enthusiastic guy. I did enjoy readings that he would do for certain comics and storylines. I haven't really been like caught up with him in recent time. I know he does more modern comics, but I like that he always focused on not just like one side of comics like Marvel or DC, but he touched on everything, and that's, I think, for like the comic community is huge, and he definitely had an impact and an influence on it. And I couldn't believe it because it was the other week I even pulled up his channel. I just came across my feed just to hear about this was just absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah, and he was the kind of man who just never stopped making new projects. Like I don't know how many channels I saw him launch in the time that I was watching him, but he did like Dungeons and Ale, he revived his manga channel, he did Absolute Comics with Hassan and Sal and a host of other hosts. I really enjoyed his D&D videos. There was one where the campaign that I actually followed was he was DMing and Andy was Red Hood. And I forget who the other players were playing. One of them was Damien, and it was a perfect fit for Damien because they knew how to act like just a little obnoxious brat the entire time. It was really sad because they put out his final video the day before his passing, and I thought, I'll catch that later, and then I find out 2 days later I still hadn't seen it, and he's gone. And then I watched that video, and he's so excited at the end of it. He's always giving his outro and saying that he's going to catch you in the next one, but he never will. He even started a hot sauce brand that I bought 2 bottles of hot sauce from just recently, like last month.
See, I didn't even know he's had all these other channels and like really has bossed him out. So yeah, him having all these ideas for content and everything, that's amazing.
I didn't know who this was until a couple days ago, but I've been seeing a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people that like I've been watching for years, be like, oh, rest in peace, and it's very evident just how influential this man was. So it's very inspiring to see everyone kind of rise up and say their wishes or thoughts and prayers,
Cherish who you have while you have them, like I cherish these 2 idiots. So thanks you guys for being here. And,
we cherish you, but I don't cherish you as an idiot. I don't cherish you as an idiot.
On a lighter note, let's get started in today's episode of the All Things Geek podcast. My name is Tyler, also known as Banakasai. This is...
If it's pointing to me, I'm Aiden, or Toa Kirinakoto.
Pointing to Braden, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. No, on my end, you're pointing to Aiden as well. And I am Braden, also known as
it worked out last time perfectly. I pointed at Braden, and Braden talked, and I pointed at you, and you talked. So, but it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think
man.
we switched seats this time, actually. So
Yeah, we're in different. He's in my room. I'm in his room. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a jam-packed day scheduled for y'all. More than last week, if you believe it or not. We were stressed out with how much shit we had to talk about last week. Apparently, we're way off. We're way off. We're way worse off this week.
Just jumping straight into it, we've got updates on this motherfucking Spin Master action figure line that we're going to talk about every goddamn week because...
Pretty well, huh?
We got full release photos for Kratos. Mm-hmm. We got a tease of Atreus in one of the Kratos photos, and we got the look at sort of like the over-the-shoulder view of Jin in figure form. They are looking fantastic.
So
they're all $30, interestingly. And it doesn't seem like they Kratos at least comes with more accessories than Varl was his name from?
Varl, yeah, Varl.
I would like to see a deluxe Kratos at some point with like the Chaos Blades and the drop near spear and the angry heads and
I want them.
The Mirror's head would be great.
I want them to release like a classic Kratos. That'd be cool too.
That'd be cool as well. Yeah, that'd be really dope. Like a God of War 3 Kratos or something.
Yeah.
No images, but there was confirmed a 2-pack for Ellie and Joel for $50.
Yes.
So that'll be
also seems like a pretty good price, all things considered. We'll have to see what they come with, though.
Totally reasonable.
30 for Joel, I would assume, and 20 for Ellie, probably because she's smaller. But Atreus is 30. So
but then Atreus is still going to be $30.
But he might come with a bunch of accessories. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah,
he might come with stuff for Kratos. We don't know yet.
That's it for that. Jin looks great. Atreus, I'm excited to see more of. Another update from last week. The Lego Horizon game had a trailer release and had some gameplay in said trailer. Not Horizon gameplay at all, like I had hoped.
Nothing like that.
It reminded me of some of the old mobile Lego games. There was one I used to love back in the day. It was like Lego minifigures. It literally reminds me of the same setup. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, but
it's very watered down. It feels like very watered down baby's version of Horizon is what it kind of feels. He's done. That's it. That's all. that's all
it. That was. I wanted to see gameplay, and I saw gameplay, and I didn't like what I saw.
I'm very interested. This could be really cool, and then you're like,
yeah, it's fucking garbage. Throw it away.
Get it the fuck out of here. Garbage. It's for the kids. It's also not done by TT.
I don't
Games.
give a
it is
poop
not
about
done by
them babies
at all. Yeah, you're not.
I think Lego's, as far as I understand, Lego's partnership with TT Games is over.
Really?
Yeah, I think it is.
Didn't that news come out a while ago?
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I guess Skywalker Saga was their last game then. That's nuts.
Yeah, I think so. Speaking of Lego and RIP, Lego Bumblebee.
Oh yeah, RIP. Yeah. That's a good way. That's a good way to describe him.
How do you guys feel about this?
Yeah, Aiden, what do you think?
I don't really like it. I think it looks ugly.
Just rip the band-aid off.
I like that they're trying to do more Transformer sets, but
yes,
they really I get that they want to incorporate the transformation part, but pull Crater 2 in 1 here. Just it works with Optimus because you're working on a bigger scale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bumblebee, not so much. And if I were them, cool, maybe Bumblebee, but would you want to make Megatron as like a gradual opponent? Just
what is against Megatron gonna be? What is he gonna be, the gun, or is he gonna be the tank? Probably a tank. I would say
not the.
They're not gonna turn him into a gun. Lego's not doing a gun.
Well, not like how Starscream turned the one like the '86 movie. We're gonna get Megatron next for sure. We're gonna have to wait a couple years, unfortunately, but I mean, $90.
I can see them doing Soundwave too at some point.
Oh, that would be great.
That'd be really cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
but I really don't care for it.
Yeah.
This is where I thought Lego Transformers wasn't gonna work. This is like a perfect. And the vehicle mode looks so clunky and ugly. It's supposed to be based off the Beetle, of course, right? But God Almighty.
So this set's $90.
Not a terrible price, especially for license. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just ugly.
No,
He
I
looks
mean-
like he's got big, ugly War for Cybertron shoulder pads. It just doesn't work for him. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. In the legs, it looks so lackluster.
They're
I get
so
it.
skinny, and then they're so like.
And they're gonna scoot, you know. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the original toy, cool, but
Yeah.
it's like compared to Optimus, it's just like
Yeah,
Not good.
and
yeah.
it's
Optimus really set the bar high here, so it's gonna be like, how do you?
kids
top
aren't
it?
gonna want this because he can't move. He can't do anything. He can't move his legs at all.
No, in the vehicle mode is nothing like, you know, like wow, I
Yeah.
want to go that way.
Yeah. Overall, not
So.
great.
Moving on, Summer Games Fest happened over the last week. We got a bunch of trailers. We got Doom, we got Metal Gear Solid Alpha, we got Fable, we got Star Wars, and we got a little something else at the very end. But let's start with Doom, The Dark Ages. Looks really fucking cool.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't played any
know.
of the Bethesda Doom games, the remade Doom games yet, but I've followed the story for all of them, and I've seen the gameplay for all of them.
I didn't even know there was a story. I just assumed shoot demons, blow them up. That's all I assumed it was. But it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks great.
Super cool.
The skull grinding
cool.
gun is like so
skull,
many.
yeah, it's like Captain America's shield now with a saw blade.
Is like,
It's so cool.
Yeah,
It's so awesome. It's just these games. These games are the definition of like testosterone-inducing like man games. Like men play these games, and go yeah, like they're just like hyped up the entire time. Zach loves.
Well, I love like all the deer. I love the world and everything else. Like, and especially, I love the original Doom. I know everyone's like, that's so old, but it's fun. Anyway.
What else is there, Ty? What else? Like, oh, Metal Gear.
Metal Gear Solid Alpha Snake Eater.
This is your favorite Metal Gear Solid game?
Oh my god, no. My favorite Metal Gear Solid game is Metal Gear Solid 5. My second favorite is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay.
And this looks fucking perfect.
It does look really fun.
So gorgeous. It's oh my god, seeing everything recreated and just modern graphics and looking so crisp and clean and real, it looks so good. I just want to grab Snake by the face and squish his little cheeks.
Like Mario 64. Pull out.
I learned the from Smash Brothers Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so much fun. They're using all the voice acting from the original game. They didn't recast or anything.
Tell. That's great.
So all the voices are gonna be the genuine article. I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. That's just a fantastic
it just looks
game.
Like
now
a great
it's just gonna
game.
be perfect.
I might play it just because it just looks like a fun game. But
please, for the love of God, someone make action figures of this game. Moving on to the next one. Fable 4 got a trailer. It's just called Fable, I guess, but it's Fable 4. But I played Fable 1. I love Fable 1. I grew up on that one. That was sort of my Skyrim before Skyrim. And then I never really got into... I tried playing Fable 2 and more recently, and I wasn't into it. And then Fable 3 I haven't heard very good things about, so I didn't. But Fable 1's great, and hopefully that this can capture the sort of magic of that game. I'm excited. Do you guys have any experience with Fable? What do you think?
The only experience I have with Fable is using the music for COD and like like downloading those songs and even using a few songs for the Legacy of Light video too, which was really fun. It seems like a cult game that like Fable fans really like Fable, but like nobody else talks about Fable. I hear some people say it's like the worst game of all time, but then you talk to a Fable fan and they're like, this shit rocks. So it seems like it's got a very devoted fan base, which is cool. It's nice that it's finally getting like a big like modern like treatment.
It's a very dry British sense of humor take on like the fantasy RPG genre.
Okay.
That's what the originals are. Yeah. So there's a lot of crassness. Like in the original game, you can flirt with people, or you can make like fart. You can like do a fart emote up in front of somebody and make them not like you. It's fun. There's like a social mechanic in the game where you can earn popularity. Or
it's got a big ass frog in it. That got Aiden hyped. He saw that and he was like, I'm buying that.
That was the only thing. I'm like, that's all I care about.
That was it, man.
It's all
rogue.
Yeah.
Next up, we got gameplay for Star Wars Outlaws, which I wasn't originally excited for, but seeing the gameplay and seeing more about it, the game looks pretty fantastic, so I am very excited. It seems like the idealized version of like what Starfield and No Man's Sky were trying to be, where like you do missions in this open world, and then you get in your spaceship and you go to space, and then you go find another planet, and then you go to that planet, and it's just like a sort of seamless.
There's nothing.
Well, and the good thing is this one's not going to have 1,000 AI generated planets with nothing in them.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Well, there you go.
As far as we know, nothing from the trailer like got me really excited. Honestly, it like the space stuff looks kind of cool. I'm just not a big Star Wars fan at this point in my life. But I'll acknowledge that it looks like a fun game. Don't shake your heads at me. Let me not enjoy something, okay?
And to wrap up the Summer Games Fest section of the show, there was an Among Us animated series trailer, which is like 5 years too late, but
yeah.
Interesting. It's got a very star-studded cast for the most part. It's got Patton Oswalt, Ashley Johnson, Elijah Wood, Phil Lamar. Very strange for a trailer that has no dialogue at all.
I just don't know why they're making it. It's just
it's popular.
One of those things.
What's
the point?
It was very popular. I don't know. I haven't heard anyone talk about Among Us in like a year, so I don't.
Yeah.
Again, it's that thing where they were like, we need to get on this. This is making a lot of views. And
well, it's like the case of the Slenderman movie. That was like 8 years too late.
Oh god, yeah, that was so late.
I mean, yeah, it looks interesting. I don't know. I don't like. Woohoo! Among Us TV show. I don't know, man.
Ray and I are gonna binge the whole thing.
We're gonna watch it all in one. It might be hilarious. They got a lot of talented people in it, so it might be really fun.
They're gonna announce
those guys talk. I feel like maybe I'd be like, oh, this may be fun. I don't know.
It's gonna be.
I've barely played it. I'd actually no. Honestly, I've only played the game. I've only played the game through different modes in different games.
I've never played actual Among Us.
Never
I've
actually
only played
the game.
Fortnite. What's it called? Imposter was the funnest game on Fortnite. We played that shit for hours.
It was great.
It's gone now. It is gone, and I didn't know that, and I looked it up to play it, and I was really upset that it was gone, dude.
I've played the real game. It was fun, but it's the kind of game that you need to like. You really need to be playing it with friends to enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, like
Oh yeah.
You're just getting killed by like random people.
I think it was. Like Brandon was saying, like it's 5 years too late, but like at the time when it came out, that was a big thing, like for everyone to play together outside of I guess Fortnite. So
well, that was during COVID, wasn't it? Like
yeah.
So everyone was like really.
I think it really blew up during COVID, but it was out a year or two before that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You know what else got a show?
What else got a show? Tell me.
Legends.
League of Legends.
That was a cool segment. Arcane Season 2 trailer dropped.
That's officially. Not where it is at all in the order, you bastard.
Is it not part of Games Fest?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, well, it doesn't make sense to just lump it in with the game stuff. Why not? It's a game-based trailer thing.
You ruined everything. This guy ruined everything.
You're a frog.
Arcane Season 2 got a trailer. Looks really great. I'm excited. There's seems to be some new characters coming and some developments in the story.
Ty and I really like Arcane. Aiden refuses to watch it. He hates it so much. Because nobody would shut up. Because it was really nobody would shut up about it. To be fair, it was pretty bad.
Everyone that I know that really liked it annoyed the shit out of me about it. So I'm like, I'm not watching this. So
just being contrary.
Maybe I'll watch it in 20 years and be like, oh, that was good.
That was pretty cool.
I'm glad I didn't watch it. Yeah,
you're just being a contrarian.
It's very war. Like there's a lot of there's conflict happening in this season. What a surprise! There's a lot of war shit going on, so it looks really cool. I'm
considering last season ended with
like a nuke going off,
blowing up the government essentially.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great point.
So it's gonna be a little chaotic.
I heard. I don't know how true this is, but I heard that this might be the last season of their story specifically. So
Interesting.
of Jinx and Vi. So I don't know if that's true. I've heard that a couple times. So I figured I'd mention it here.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think I'd be okay with season 3 picking up with a new crew and a new part of the world. That'd be interesting.
World building, nothing wrong with that.
Moving on, since Chuckles over here fucked up the entire
sorry for making a transition that seemed like fair.
Nope.
I should have looked. It did. It makes sense. Whatever. You're
Talk about One Piece.
Because you talked about a video game TV show.
Talk about
Thank
One Piece.
you.
Ain't nobody asking
Aiden's
you.
defending me.
This is not a democracy, okay?
This is a dictatorship.
I will not have a kangaroo court. Understood.
This is not a banana republic.
No.
Chapter 1117 came out this week of One Piece. I forgot it was coming out, and I got really excited when it did come out. More of the same.
That's one more one than Master Chief.
Oh, yeah.
Coincidence?
Yeah,
I think
that's
not.
Master Chief's son. Anywho,
John Jr.
John Jr.
John Jr.
John Jr. Come to the bathroom right now.
Anyway.
Anywho, more or less the same. This chapter's pretty cool, though. It leaves us, it edged us, One Piece fans. And I'll elaborate on what I'm talking about in a second here. This is seemingly...
Just like Chainsaw Man, huh?
Chainsaw Man did it in a different way. This is seemingly probably the end of Vegapunk's message. Finally, dude has been yapping for like 10 chapters straight, so it's time for him to end. It gets cut off abruptly, though. The old men find the robot and beat the shit out of it, and the transmission cuts off. Right as it's about to get cut off, Vegapunk says this, and I quote, "Finally, I would like to leave a message for those around the world with D in their names." And we get a bunch of reactions to a bunch of characters going like, oh, what's happening? And he says, "Among you guys, there is and then the transmission gets cut off. So, really just leaving us on a cliffhanger like that, which whatever, it is what it is. We'll find out soon enough anyways. Aside from that, chapter's cool. It's got a lot of little cameos. My favorite cameo is characters that were introduced back in chapter 66, I think, during Sanji's arc. And he's got long hair. He looks like a bum now, so it's really cool to see those characters come back. I cheered, because I've been wanting to see those characters for so long. I was like, fuck yes! I was so happy, dude. Not much else. Oh, Zoro stops one of the big guys with his sword. Everyone's like, he's so powerful. It's like, yeah, Zoro's been powerful for, like, this is not a surprise. Seemingly getting ready to leave. Luffy's literally like, guys, we need to get the fuck out of here right now. Their ship is getting, like, bombarded right now. So it's crazy. There's no break next week. I'm hyped about that. We might be out of here. We might be gone. We might be, I'll give it probably another 10 chapters, but we might be done with Egghead. That's about it for that, though.
That's promising.
So was it a good chapter?
It was a pretty good chapter, I dare say myself. People are obviously mad about the cliffhanger at the end. Like, people are livid about that. But, I mean, he does this shit all the time, so it's kind of expected. But I just wasn't expecting it to be so blunt, you know?
Speaking of the ocean and pirates and fish, 5K Toys has revealed some cool action figures of some fishmen.
They have.
Look pretty good. They give me kind of a World of Warcraft vibe. They are the mithril fish monsters. They also give me the vibe of something out of like Jak and Daxter 1.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kind of. But yeah, they're really cool. I'm really excited. I definitely want the anglerfish guy. I like the proportions. They're very like...
Oh yeah, he is really cool.
Cartoony and goblin-y.
You could fudge that into a D&D display pretty easily, I feel.
Well, that's the plan.
Of course, obviously. I want to talk about these guys, obviously. I saw them, and I was like... I assumed we were going to have a lighter week, so I was like, let's talk about these guys. These guys look awesome. You already know where they're going on my shelf. They're going next to my Blunderlings.
Oh, yeah.
Stylistically, they're not exactly the same, but they just feel like they could fit into that world, which is really cool. I love them all. And depending on the price, I'm sure the pre-order already went up. I'm not sure. But I'm sure they're gonna be kind of expensive per figure, but I would like to get all of them.
It'd be like $30.
$30
maybe.
each? That's not so bad. I would do that.
Yeah. I imagine they're small, so.
Yeah, they're probably pretty small. They look great though. They look like a lot of fun. They look like a good time. They're lanky. They've got weird proportions, and I love when action figures just look weird and take weird risks. So I'm totally a fan.
Yeah, they'd work well with your One Piece. They'd work well with your Plunders.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So, moving on to
Speaking of plunderlings.
Plunderling news. Take it away.
They so like the boys over at the Lone Coconut, they teased a little picture, and some people seem a little confused about it, but I think it's pretty obvious what it is. During the campaign, they had teased a stretch goal of the fawns, the Plunder Strong fawn and the Plunder Long fawn. They did this with the Plunderling campaign too. Those never got funded. I think they're close enough to the point where they just go, we've made a couple, so let's just throw them on Big Bad Toy Store or whatever. Because the Plunderling fawns did end up going up somewhere. I think it was Big Bad. Now we are getting the Plunder Strong fawn, I think on Entertainment Earth.
He's got a big ass sword sitting on a stump.
Oh, you're right.
How did you not notice that?
Oh yeah, you're right. He does have a big ass sword. Yeah, I see that there. He comes with bongos too that he can, or like drums that he can play.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. The Plunder Strong fawn was really cool. He had like 4 legs, like a centaur. I hope that gets made because he looked awesome.
Plunder Long.
Yeah, that's what I said. No, I said long.
You said strong.
I said strong at first, and then I corrected long.
Nope. You said
Editor,
strong.
play it back. Reveal the secrets to Ty. And if I am wrong, then please just awkwardly dub myself over so that I say the right thing instead. Okay. I probably won't get it, but it's cool nonetheless.
Interesting. It would be really dope if this one had the centaur body because it would make more sense because centaurs are big and muscular.
Yeah, I agree.
Moving on to so this week's news has been kind of the week of threes, as far as I'm concerned. Kratos Atreus Jin. We got, among other things, Hot Toys Deadpool 3 Wolverine. You guys have more opinions on that?
I have no opinion on this. Aiden, go ahead.
All right, take it away.
Yeah, can I just say, this is probably one of, if not the best looking Hot Toys figure I've ever seen. On top of it being just a perfect costume design, that we finally get a live action Wolverine costume. Primarily looked like it's basing off of Astonishing Wolverine, which is something I love because there's like a lot of different marketing and advertisement for Marvel toys and everything growing up in the early 2000s. Plus they're making a really cool Marvel Legends figure of it later this year. But every shot of this figure, I mean, Hot Toys completely nailed it, and we finally get to see a full look of Wolverine without the sleeves, but having the cowl and the shoulders, having battle damage. You can swap out the parts. There's so many accessories. I love the different hands, especially like the open hands. There's so much you can do with it. I want to get it so badly. Obviously, with the more accessories and damaged parts, that's with the deluxe version. You're going to have the standard, but the fabrication and the Hugh Jackman head sculpt is... I don't think they've gotten any likeness done better than that. I wanted the Willem Dafoe Green Goblin Hot Toys. I still do. Even like the 2002 look with the armor being intact and even the weathered one. But the Willem Dafoe is great. But this is like I think they got it 1 for 1. I think this is probably the best looking Hot Toys head I've seen on a figure. It's incredible. It's really just like, man, I would love to get it so much. I can't stop looking at different photos of it. But, I love that the claws are detachable, so you can swap them between the different hands. That's very smart. I love the amount of thought and care that goes into Hot Toys figures. I really would love to get one. Rangus has like 50 in his room now, so obviously they're good, but they're such an investment. But this would be definitely one of them that I would just fork out a couple $100 and be like, yes, and feel happy that I got something like this. Especially getting a really good look at the cowl now. Seeing it complete with the actual costume outside of just promotional images just looks phenomenal. It makes me more excited to see the movie next month. I can't wait. I can't wait to get a Legends figure, but I'm curious to how we're going to get that because we're not going to have as many different combinations. But I love the sleeveless look, how they did the arms and get like the vein detail and everything. I mean, it just looks so good. It's so good.
Sleeves off with the shoulder pads on, with the white eyes.
Yeah, and that's and especially Hugh having like the perfect head for that, and he can rotate his eyes, but his expression's just like perfect. Oh man, yeah, I'm going through, like these photos, man, are just like so good.
Hope the Marvel Legends is this look, and I can only hope it is a fraction of as good as the way this one looks. Because
yes, I hope so too. I like I said, I hope. Like, I would love to have my Legends figure just to have the sleeveless with the shoulders and the cowl. I hope that they make an option where you detach the arms, but that is so far-fetched for them.
Yeah, it's so unlikely.
They've done that maybe once, I think.
Well, it's like with Reed Richards, right?
That's the only
standard comic figure.
Moira McTaggart.
Very rarely, but I can see them making an exception. I don't know.
Maybe. Hopefully. Fingers
I
crossed,
hope.
please.
If not, we get two different variants, right? Maybe we get one with more battle damage, but it has like complete sleeves. You get the unmasked head, and then we get one that's complete without the sleeves with the the mask. I don't know. They can mix it up. I feel like that would be cool. Yeah, I'm so curious to how they're gonna do that and what that wave is gonna be like. So
hopefully it's a wave and not just like individual.
I would hope they would do a wave.
Because there's so many figures you can do. You said the movie's coming out next month, and that made me like, oh my god. I keep thinking the way my brain works. There's another thing we're gonna end up talking about later. I thought it was coming out next month. Like, I don't have a good sense of time for this stuff. I assumed this movie was coming out next year. Like, I don't know when things are happening, dude.
It's funny because we're supposed to get this movie not next year, but in September.
I thought it was 2025. I could have sworn I saw 2025 somewhere. I don't know why I keep thinking. Is it Superman? Okay.
Yeah, Superman.
I might be thinking of something else.
They originally had like
this is the only MCU movie coming out this year.
Thatch got mad at me because I thought that like Fantastic Four was coming out in like 2026, and he's like, "It's not coming out in 2026." I'm like, "I'm pretty sure it is," and he's like, "You're wrong." It's like I'm so bad with like remembering dates and stuff, and something will come out and I'll be like, "Oh, it's out already." Like I genuinely have no idea, so I just need to apologize for that because I know I'm pretty bad with that.
Maybe the upcoming Marvel Legends stream. Maybe they'll have
some
cool stuff.
We're gonna talk about the
maybe.
They're gonna talk about Man Thing for sure.
Yeah, they're gonna talk about Man Thing, but the upcoming classic comic wave. What's that? Strange Tales.
Oh, also we completely forgot to mention Man Thing in the thing. You want to talk about that at all, or no? Are we good?
There's an MCU Man Thing figure. It looks kind of weird. It's all right.
Okay.
I'm with Ty. I'm excited to get a figure of him because I've wanted the character on the shelf. He can work as the movie version or live action, but also be in comic. I don't know if he's gonna be a whole lot of fun to pose around. He just seems very limited in some ways. I think I was saying to Ty or someone else I wish he had a diaphragm joint. I feel like he would have, because for poses when he's like walking.
That's the dream. Like for almost every figure, you want something like that. But
it's wishful thinking, but I hope we get Werewolf next to go with them.
His shoulders are like way too low. His head is supposed to be kind of more.
Yeah, he's more.
It's more like hello.
His head does seem a bit wide too. I don't know if that's. I haven't seen Werewolf by Night in a while, but
he looks a little different than how he does in the actual special. Because I'm like, did he look that?
So, I remember him having like actual eyes too, but he in this he kind of has more like just like.
It's kind of like the I don't know. Yeah. It's gonna be nice to have a figure of him, but I don't know if it's gonna be.
It's nice that you don't have to spend like hundreds of dollars on the BAF anymore, so that's cool.
I feel like the BAF they made back in 2016. So
but it's just nice to have an option for people who don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on the BAF, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Continuing in the theme of threes, Angry Birds 3 was announced, which is crazy. I find this really interesting because Rovio was acquired by Sony recently. Or not Sony, Sega.
Sega.
Which is curious. So I wonder if that impacted the movie rights at all. Because as far as I understand, the last Angry Birds movie didn't do very well. I figured that there wouldn't
I
be a
didn't.
sequel,
I
but I
didn't know
wonder if
there
that's
was a second one.
there's a second one. Yes.
I saw the first one.
I wonder if the third movie happening is because of Sega's involvement.
It was pretty soon after, and also this is not like this is like an in production thing. It's not even like so I would assume
it's just
it has
a
something
very
to do.
quick little animation. I think it's just to announce that they're doing it.
I would assume that you're right about that. I'm sure Sega was like, let's get another movie going because they're doing their own movies now. So I would assume. I don't know if it's different, right? I don't know who does these movies. Is it Warner Brothers or something like that? What team does these?
Columbia Pictures produced it.
Chlamydia Pictures.
Columbia Pictures.
No, Columbia.
Chlamydia Pictures, really?
That's what I thought he said.
Really? No, you fucking didn't.
Yes, he stuttered, and that's what I thought he said.
No. Interesting. So, Rovio Entertainment, Sega, and Prime Focus Studios have announced that they are starting production on Angry Birds movie 3.
Prime Focus.
So, Columbia is no longer involved. So, yes, it has to be because of
100%.
Sega's involvement.
100%.
I'd prefer if these movies used just the regular Angry Birds designs.
I
Those are
agree,
so much better.
but they don't have limbs, so that's why they're like
Just have them fucking bounce around. Who cares? Nobody cares.
They need to pick up stuff and hold babies.
That
and
you
shit.
can just have it float next to them. That's what they do in the games.
I know, but you don't understand. They want like
They need logic. They need science.
they do. Right.
Speaking of logic and science, Smiling Friends Season 3 was greenlit.
Wow, it was a great segue. So Aiden and I actually just finished watching what's out of season 2 last night. Aiden had already seen it.
Yeah.
He went ahead and watched it without me, which is a little cringe. Dude, I love this show. I really do. I mean, it is just this season 2 in particular is pure anarchy and chaos. Like it is insane. It is an insane show. Like the episodes are 11 minutes and there's no time to breathe. But the humor of the show is ridiculous shit happening and then characters having like genuine reactions and responses to it. So like I don't like an alien will like hatch out of an egg and they'll just be like, "What the fuck was that? What is that?" And they'll be like, "I don't know. What was that?" And they have like a genuine argument. That's the humor of the show. It's hilarious. It's not everyone's cup of tea. It's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. But I think it's really funny. So and plus this is made by a YouTuber I really like. So that's an added bonus. It's just, I'm very glad that season 3 is green. I want the show to go on for as long as they possibly can, because there's a lot of different styles of animation in this one. Like Joel Haver, who does those like cool like rotoscope animations, like he's in it and it's hilarious. There's like stop motion. It's crazy, man. It's such a cool show, and I'm very, very excited for season 3.
It's definitely one of the best animated comedy series I've seen in recent time that I can really tell you that's genuinely great, and I feel like it's got like, and I feel like season 2 has been already an improvement on season 1. I feel like this show's really like season 1 was part of finding its footing, and now it really has with the audience, and I feel like it's probably through like feedback we've gone back on it.
I think Adult Swim just let them do whatever the hell they wanted. I think they were just Nostalgia Critic makes a cameo in one episode. That was awesome. Yeah, he was like, it's him. It's live action him. He's on the team.
He's just physically there.
Yeah, he's like, hello, I'm There's a whole episode with a live action dude as the president of the United States, and he's got like shit covered on him the entire time. He's going like, oh, I'm not ready for this.
President
Jimbo. I'm telling you, man, it's
so basically it's the Amazing World of Gumball for adults, is what
basically,
it is.
Yeah, that's fair. If it's the Amazing World of Gumball who's on crack.
Sorry, for Gen Z adults.
Yeah,
I should say.
Fair.
For idiot adults.
I should force you to watch this show, Ty. I would genuinely curious. You might end up hating it, or you might end up loving it. It's hard to say. It's like it's borders on the brink of brain rot. Like it is like it might.
I kind of want to see Ty's reaction because it's a lot of my
he's either gonna be sitting there like this, like
it's up my alley for a lot of my humor. So I like watch anyone else. They're like, "That why is this fucking funny to you?" I'm like, I think it's the best thing ever.
It's interesting.
I don't know.
I think it's genuinely really interesting to see like where you'll fall on certain jokes and
It
like,
is. It's would be serial killer humor. Like if you guys had developed just a little worse, you'd be serial killers, and that's your kind of humor.
It is like 100%, 100%.
I mean, I like Rick and Morty, so I might, it might sort of
might definitely
adhere to that lane of
and it's short too, so it's not like they're not trying to be like serious. They're not trying to have like episodes come out where characters go like, I have cancer. Like it's nothing like that, you know. It's like it's played very like it knows what it is. It's a stupid comedy show. It's not like Brian having a psychological conversation with Quagmire for like 20 minutes, you know. It's
or Stewie beating Brian to death for his the money that he borrowed.
Yeah, exactly.
Continuing with the theme of threes, Acolyte episode 3 came out, and it continues to piss people off a lot.
Apparently.
Even more so than the first 2 episodes. People are mad. People are very mad.
People are mad. There's like witches. I don't know, Ty, you talking about? I didn't watch it, obviously.
Did you watch it, Aiden?
I did not actually.
Fair enough.
Nobody wants to watch
You could probably skip this episode.
Okay.
It is boring. It is the flashback to the mystery, but it's from the perspective of a child and not the characters that you care about, so you don't really care the entire time. You learn that OSHA and May's parents were a cult of witches, not like Dathomirian witches, not like
the cool ones.
Yeah, the Night Sisters. Just other witches, I guess. And you find out that, although I totally thought that they might be Night Sisters because one of their moms, they have 2 moms, one of their moms is a Zabrak woman. So I was like, oh yeah, they're Night Sisters, but no, they're not. Find out that the Zabrak woman gave birth to the twins, but the twins look more like the leader witch who apparently used the Force to make them, to use the Force to impregnate the Zabrak woman. So
look, there's precedent for that with Anakin, right?
Yeah.
So that's not.
That's why people are pissed off though, because they're like, Anakin's not special anymore.
I'm just surprised they did that. Like, I don't...
Yeah. And, maybe there's more to it, but that's just what they say is, she's like, the Zabrak woman's like, I gave birth to them. And then the other woman's like, I made them. When they're having an argument. So, I guess it's interesting, except for the fact that the episode was really fucking boring the entire time. The girls are discovered by the Jedi because they leave the confines of their temple. So the Jedi are like, hey, Child Protective Services, you can't be raising children if you use the Force without the Jedi's permission. So then they want to do a test, and the witches are like, no, we don't want you to test them. And the girls are like, one of the OSHA's like, I want to test. So they test the girls. OSHA wants to be a Jedi. The Jedi are like, hey, you can be a Jedi if you want to be. And then Mom's like, I don't want you to be a Jedi, but if you want to be, okay. And then May is like, well, I don't want you to leave, so I'm going to kill you. And she starts a fire. Maybe. It's unclear. We'll probably find out later in a more interesting flashback. And then all the witches are dead, suddenly, from the fire, in quotes. Presumably slaughtered by the Jedi, maybe. We'll find out in a more interesting flashback, I'm sure. May falls down a pit. OSHA almost falls down a pit, but Soul saves her. They leave. The end. And this episode is totally meh. I want to see this flashback from the Jedi's perspective. I want to know what they did that was so bad. This is from OSHA's perspective, so it's trying to paint the Jedi as having done nothing wrong because she sided with them. Yeah, it could be as simple as there is no, this is the real version, and the Jedi did do nothing wrong. And if that is the case, then that might be super fucking lame if that happens. Yeah. But we'll see. I'm still looking forward to more episodes. I just, this was a lame episode.
You're still Team Acolyte. You're still,
I watch next week's episode, but I just haven't had the time. I just haven't heard great things. I'm like, well, might rush to see it.
you could skim through this episode and watch like the scenes where the Jedi show up because that's the interesting stuff, and then pass on the rest of it. But next week should be the Wookiee episode, so that should be fun.
Wookiee.
Yeah, moving on because I haven't thought about that episode since it came out, pretty much. So next and final topic in the theme of threes. First 3 episodes of The Boys season 4 came out.
3.
And holy shit.
3 episodes.
I didn't expect 3.
Yeah, it was it's kind of bizarre.
A beginning to the season.
Yeah. I
loved it. I loved it so much.
Yeah, I will say it's great. I'm still confused about why they decided to put out 3 episodes. It's just a very strange decision. There isn't like
I feel like it was a good start because I was pissed by the end of the 3rd episode. I'm like, motherfucker, like we're not really into this shit, and I want to see that last scene so tremendous.
The way it ends, I was like, come on, really?
I know it's good setup for. I really like the first 3 episodes. I was curious because I was saying this to you guys earlier in our chat about the critic rating being the lowest, but still relatively high for the series overall. I know why now, and it's because there's some political messaging and some other things that are going to ruffle people's feathers.
That's always been there. So
people now you're seeing it now. The 4th season of this show that's been doing since season 1 is like baffling.
Thanks
to me.
for catching up, buddy.
Yeah,
the show's been making fun of you the entire fucking time.
It's funny. I mean, that's the whole. That has been the whole point of the show. It's always meant to be making fun of things.
There's a joke about idolizing Homelander, even like the actor that plays him, Anthony Starr, is like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, you guys are completely missing the fucking point. I
love him. He just does not care. He's just
he's tremendous in that.
Here's the thing. My mom is one of those people who like buys into those Republican conspiracy theories. She hates Homelander. Yeah. She's like, oh, he's such a piece of shit. He's such a dick. Like, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah. Mom, at least you get it because everyone else doesn't fucking get it. So
I'm very interested in Sage. But sticking on Homelander for a moment.
Yeah.
He's always been a Trump allegory from season 1. At least when it comes to his public persona. This season is really validating season 3 because a lot of the complaints that we had were like, well, it kind of ends where it started, and it feels like a lot didn't really matter. But Maeve is gone, so that is a power dynamic shift that you can feel throughout these first 2 episodes. A-Train, who is having a change of heart, literally and figuratively. Butcher, who's got worms in his brain. Whatever's going on with that, that's something, and Homie didn't seem to recognize it when he was looking at his scalp. I don't know, that's going to be some sort of plot development. Homelander's psyche is even worse because his dad tried to murder him and almost did.
And his son, the whole thing with his son too is probably screwed.
Yeah, his son's being a teenager and he can't fucking handle that. The moment when he brings a milkshake. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, well, and he walks away and he's like, give me that milkshake. And he's like, you're such a child.
Dude,
you're just a child.
That argument
I'm very happy with how they're handling the son's arc because I was really worried that he was just going to be Homelander like Mini, and I was like, oh boy. But the fact that he's like
when they unveil the fucking Robin costume.
Oh yeah, I was
Homeboy.
Yeah, I was. But it's interesting that he's like doubting himself and that he's going back to Butcher. It's really cool. I mean,
he's not just a one-note character. He's a teenager, so he's got issues, but he's also got layers to him.
I'm also glad that the season didn't feel the need to start in the grossest way possible. Well, it kind of does, but I mean, like, the first episode doesn't really have something as bad as season 3's first episode. Let's be real.
Oh man, for the child with the tentacles coming out of her mouth, and
that's not as bad.
ripping off Kimiko's arm, and then Kimiko jumping out the window, splatting, and then putting her face back on. I was like, damn, we're back in it.
That's not as bad as the penis exploding, okay? That's never gonna be as bad as that.
I the multiple man guy fucking in the convention episode.
Yeah, that's worse than the penis exploding, because the penis exploding, you don't see the penis explode.
I don't remember. I felt like
It
he
just-
did.
No, he just.
you see the guy is.
What was terrible about that is when he
You see
was
his hole.
inside.
The worst part of that is
Yeah.
the actual penis tip
That's
they
what I'm
built that you get to
thinking of.
watch him walk up to.
Yeah.
When they caught that guy in the sauna when he's like,
Oh God! Ugh.
and then later on they talk about them having fucking pink eye. I was
Pink
like,
eye,
I
and
love
they keep showing the one guy with the fucking the hairs on his
Yeah.
head. Jesus Christ!
I love when they split. There's a bunch of naked men running around. It's awesome.
But yeah, and they're like all shooting, and the guy they're not unfazed by it. They're fucking just going at it.
They're all
Mhm.
locked in. It's awesome.
Guys,
There's always
so-
dude, yeah. Oh, the way they split was
It's
really gross too. It's
Yeah.
just ugh. And then I was like, I don't want to see all their little dicks flopping around while they're fighting
Just
everybody.
running
Get this
around.
out of here.
It's all
They
just
focus a lot on the penises too.
Well, it's hard to avoid them.
I like when they
And
all
then, like-
pile on Butcher, and I have them are
Yeah.
fucking naked. You know,
It's great.
Yeah, it's gross.
I think it's a great start to the season.
Mhm.
I want to see how the rest because it's the penultimate season. We got confirmation that season 5's
Season 5.
it because everyone's
Possibly
kind of
it'll
worried
be
that
the finale.
they were going to do more
God.
than 5 seasons. And I was like, that's
Yeah.
not going to work, you know, because it's.
Mhm.
How
I
you
feel
gonna
like-
drag out
I feel like
Butcher
not
to
ending
the-
it at season 4 right now. It gives us room to
Yeah.
set up the cards for the finale, the
Yeah.
final season,
Mhm.
right?
You could
But
end
also,
this
like-
season, but
That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have, but look. So far, it's proving its worth.
Well,
and,
5 seasons was always the original plan, as far as I
Right.
understand.
right. So I'm glad that they're just sticking to that.
Mm.
Yeah, and they're gonna do spin-offs. I know they're still doing Gen V, and then they're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
I think something else too.
I
They're doing
never
another
saw
show
Gen
as
V.
well.
Didn't
So,
they say that there was a
yeah.
character who's gonna appear in season 4 from Gen V? Isn't that a thing?
Probably.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, maybe.
I'll need to ask you
I don't
guys
know.
when that happens because I'm not gonna even know. So
Yeah, I had thought that might have been Sage when she appeared because I didn't watch Gen V, so I was like, I had to
I
look up
haven't
who
seen
she
it
was.
either.
Who,
So I won't
the
know.
actress.
I'm probably gonna watch Gen V as I wait between because I binged all 3 episodes yesterday. I was doing it for this because I wasn't sure I was beyond, but
Yeah.
I was like, I miss seeing the boys. You know, literally. So
Yeah,
It's been a while.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch that now because apparently there is some stuff going on behind the scenes. They talk about like they're developing a formula or something to kill Homelander, but it's not
you
strong
mentioned
enough.
that, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I do like. Not like everyone's always keen to like, oh, I have to watch this to understand the full picture. Like, look, I think it's just to get further details and certain things. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I heard
You know,
Gen V
they're
was
like-
good,
Or I
so-
would
They don't throw it and be like, you have to watch Gen V to understand.
right.
I would really, because if season 4 or season 5 is the final season, I would really like for them to bring Soldier Boy back into Gen V and have
Mhm.
him be a recurring character in that. Maybe, I mean, not even like, because he was kind of an anti-hero last season. I mean, he could even take up a fucking mentor role for all I know. But yeah, I'd like to see Jensen Ackles come back, Soldier Boy.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
all
I think
that's
he
the
will.
reason.
Pretty much.
Well,
He
that's
just
what
wants to
he-
see Jensen back on screen, which is fair.
Yeah.
He was one of my favorite
will.
parts of season 3. So I get
He
it.
will. I think he will.
That whole scene with Huey in the air vent, and then the sweat droplet comes down his nose, and then he fucking starts lasering the ceiling, trying
He
to get
starts
him.
cutting people in
love-
half.
So
There's the-
tense. Yeah,
my
he cuts,
favorite part
he
about
cuts
that
the
whole-
Maeve on ice.
My favorite whole part
And
about that whole
then-
scene is Jesus running around cutting people with his stick.
Yeah,
That's
he cuts their
insane.
fingers off.
To
And
slice
he
a
he
person's
jumps over the
neck
barricade, and
That's
it's like,
crazy.
dude, it's not that hard to not kill people.
Just
You're
kill
trying at this point, Jesus.
Jesus.
I
is
do
just
love all
like,
the stuff that's
bro.
going on with. I like that we're seeing stuff with Huey's mom because I've always been kind of
Yes.
wondering what happened there. So that's
Cool.
I'm really
sad his dad probably is gonna die. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate because I like Huey's dad.
Oh man, it's just so good. I can't wait for more. I don't even know when episodes are supposed to be releasing.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume.
Came
Yeah,
out.
I would assume every Thursday, but I don't know.
Or Wednesday. Maybe.
How many episodes are there?
I
Do we know?
Did
Like
this come out
7?
Thursday or Wednesday?
Something like that? 8?
Probably like 8.
Eight.
8 usually.
Probably. So we've got 5 more. We've got 5 more weeks of the boys.
Oh, I just realized the Acolyte and the boys are tied now, so we're going to talk about a new episode every week, I would assume. So we can be
Five,
like, the Acolyte,
26.
blah, 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 and then we're like, the boys are back!
The boy! He crawled up a penis!
He went inside the pee-pee hole! I'm preparing for Firecracker to do something crazy. That's all. Something wacky's gonna happen with her. It's not gonna be good. There's gonna be some crazy shit.
I mean,
with her.
she's probably gonna die. I don't know what crazy shit she could do.
She's gonna fuck the shit out of Homelander. That's what's
her
gonna
power
happen.
is like she makes sparks that are like smoke. Was it just
They're
smoke?
gonna
I don't remember if she did anything.
No, she has like not It's kind of like Jubilee powers, I would assume, but like Firecracker.
Yeah. Maybe she'll have like an all-out, light versus fireworks battle.
She'll
with
finger
Starlight or something.
Homelander. She'll finger Homelander and then light him
In
up.
the pee hole. In the pee hole.
Jesus, imagine Brayden like just in the writing writer's room.
I'm sitting here going.
So get this, all right? Sparkle Girl fingers the pee hole.
Let's be real. They would do that. Like, let's not even say that they wouldn't do that. They really have no, like, they don't care, man.
What do you guys think of the new Black Noir?
He's funny.
I think he's a lot of fun. He's basically Deadpool.
I love everyone just telling him
to
to shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's just like, you're not supposed to talk, and he's like, alright, my bad. Sorry.
Like, we're the character. Like, I need a sense of direction. Like, I need a little
It's
bit of.
really funny. I'm glad they brought.
Is there like
him
a
back
playlist I can listen to get me in his
Yeah.
head or something?
I love that. I love that they brought him back just to have like this guy who doesn't know. It's just like I don't know this guy. I'm just
first episode I was like, I am so interested in the new Noir, and then he says that was really fucked up, and I was like, oh,
that
okay.
was hilarious too when they beat the shit out of the guys, and he's He kills like 2 people. He was responsible for like killing 2 of them.
He killed 2 of them,
and he's like, that was fucked up. It's like, why'd you do it? Like, why were you the sole one who did like most of the damage? It was great though. I mean, come on. It was the boys. We're back. The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town.
It's great. I'm absolutely loving this season.
Do you think Butcher is going to be cured of his brain worms this season? Or do you think he's going to die this season? Or do you think the season's going to be fast enough to where his time limit still extends into the next season?
No, I think it's going to come into next season.
I don't see them ending a show with... I don't see them doing the next season without Butcher. I don't know.
Well, this series is going to end with Butcher dying.
Yeah, but so what I'm saying is, do you think this season and season 5 are going to take place within a 6-month window?
100%.
Yes.
Or will he get cured and then get killed by Homelander or something in the final fight?
He could be cured, but I doubt it. I assume... I think season 2... I mean,
because they're really setting up that there's something actually in his head.
Right.
So I feel like they're setting up that that's going to be taken out of his head.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think season 4 is going to end on a pretty big cliffhanger. I think there'll be some crazy cliffhanger, and then we'll just jump straight into season 5, like picking up right after that. I don't know what it could be. I have no idea.
It's probably going to be Helllander just finally
I think so,
snapping.
though, because there's been a time skip between every season so far.
Yeah, but maybe they'll fit.
So I think
I don't
there'll
know.
probably be a time skip.
I hope not. I feel like it'd be crazier if you just jump straight into it.
Do you think anyone else on the team is going to die this season?
Frenchie.
Yeah, I feel like
I think Frenchie's done, man. It's
on the chopping block.
He's the one that I'm like, he's not doing so well. He's got shit going on. We might just be left with like Huey by the end of it. He might be the last one standing.
I don't think so. I don't think Starlight's going to die.
Oh, Starlight too. Yeah, that would.
I mean, Milk maybe. I guess
MM
I could see Milk maybe dying next season. I don't think he's going to.
I think he could die because he's been going hard on the entire show. So I don't know. I would hate it because he's like one of my favorite characters, but I like everyone in the boys.
Yeah.
So
I don't predict anyone dying this season other than Frenchie.
Yeah, that
seems
might
like we're coming to the conclusion of his
that
story.
could be the finale. Like he could be like, I don't think he'll sacrifice himself because I'm pretty sure that's what Butcher's gonna do, but it'll be something crazy.
One final note: I hope when Homelander's being set up to snap, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Last season we got blue balled with him lasering the crowd, and then it was just his thoughts. Don't do that again. If he's gonna snap,
oh yeah.
No, it's gonna be full blown shit. Like, oh my fucking god,
he's gonna like. It's gonna be bad, man. He's gonna like blow up a building or something.
Like,
He's gonna. Oh.
The scene we saw at the end of episode 3, that's setting the table for it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
I wonder if he's gonna like try to find Soldier Boy or anything like that, or if they're gonna follow up on that plot at all, because they address Soldier Boy several times, and we know that Soldier Boy's alive and he's just in detainment. So
yeah,
who knows?
Does Homelander know that he's alive?
Does Homie know? Probably not. Yeah, because if he knew that Maeve survived, then I would assume that he could make the leap of logic. But I guess if he doesn't, then maybe he doesn't.
Yeah, he might not. Maybe he'll find out. Maybe next episode he'll hear about something and he'll be like, "All right, I'm gonna go find my dad now and get him."
Yeah, I could see that being like the final few episodes being like he finds out and then he's like pissed. Alrighty, I think that wraps up our discussion today.
Yes, sir.
Been a good one, a juicy one.
It has been.
Hopefully we can get a little bit of a break next week.
Hopefully.
maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, probably not. It's gonna be like 20 things next week.
Yeah, it'll be a 4-hour podcast. It'll be going for it.
We at least got 2 episodes of 2 shows and Marvel Legends stream, so we'll see.
Yes. And a chapter.
But
One Piece chapter.
in a One Piece chapter. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody so much for joining. Thank you, Braden. Thank you, Aiden.
No problem.
And
thank you.
We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.